in which he was drafted number 1 overall and the emotions that go into a game like today. And he performed. He was typical Matthew Stafford from what we've seen through now 7 games. He was 28 for 41, 334, 3 touchdowns, and again, 0 interceptions. He takes care of the football. He keeps the team ahead of the chains. And I said, you just never feel like they're in a situation or a down and distance, Travis, that they just can't overcome.
Impending disaster doesn't loom over third down plays. It's 3rd down. Let's see if they can pick it up or not. And if they don't, we'll punt it away and get it back and do something else a little bit differently the next time. Let's pause 10 seconds so stations can identify themselves on the ESPN LA Rams radio network.
KSPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles. We are the voice of LA.
The more football I watch, and been 40 years of watching this stuff along the way, but
good stuff.
It's so much more about the mistakes you don't make than the plays that you do, especially when you get later into the season, especially when you get into the postseason, that you're going to have to make some plays along the way to be sure, but it's avoiding those mistakes that are just as important.
Yeah, the mistakes can be dangerous because they can be catastrophic. Because at certain points in the game, you have mistakes. You can't come back from that. It's one thing being aggressive early on, and we've seen a lot of teams, they're aggressive. They try to get the ball down the field, right, Travis? The whole Bruce Arians, risk it, no biscuit. That was their motto. And the one thing that I loved about that is that you're going to have mistakes within the game, but you can't be too risky. Yet when I look at certain situations, like obviously we saw with Jared Goff today, or we saw with Matthew Stafford, it's mistakes that change the game for you, right? It's like change the game. Like you can't overcome some of the mistakes that we've seen. And Matthew Stafford seems to keep his eye and know what he can do and what he can't do. That's just the experience. Jared Goff is year 6. Matthew Stafford's year
13.
12 or 13.
12 years
he's
Detroit,
13 now.
13 years here.
So year 13. He's seen twice as much more NFL football. And you can tell by the way he takes care of the football, the way when he throws it. Sometimes, like we mentioned, he gets a little too heavy on Cooper Kupp, but there's a times on 3rd and 15 where Cooper Kupp's running wide open, and I see it. So he makes the right decision.
Yeah, no, the decision-making has been fantastic all season long. You mentioned Cooper Kupp, who was another candidate for player of the game as well. 10 catches, 156 yards. He had 2 more touchdowns along the way. And just to give you an idea, 7 touchdowns on the season, 653 receiving yards so far, 46 receptions. And he's just putting together a season. Like, we knew he was going to have a big year. We knew that he would continue to get better and better and better.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, he's just kind of gone to another level. That maybe as far as, like, spectacular plays go, he's not the number 1 receiver in the league. But just as far as stacking up numbers, you're not going to see too much more than Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, they had to add him in. You're still going off the last week's numbers, man. They got
did I not add today's in?
Yeah.
So we got 9 touchdowns.
9 touchdowns now.
9 touchdowns. With
56.
We're over 800 yards already.
Yes.
And there you go. And 56 catches.
Yes, yeah. I mean, we got to tell the ESPN folks to update the website for us because we holding our guy.
That's
Cooper
right.
Kupp
We
back.
shorted him 2 touchdowns and another 150 yards.
But he's on 56 catches in 7 games.
Over 800 yards.
And I think me and you were having this discussion about, is he the best receiver in the NFL? Is he top 5? I think a lot of people won't put him in that list, in that category, only because, Travis, he doesn't have the abilities of a DeAndre Hopkins. Right, he doesn't have
Adams.
Yeah, Devontae Adams. Like those guys, don't get me wrong. They have some good quarterbacks now, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers. So, but I think it's weird to say that maybe was Jared Goff holding Cooper Kupp back. You know what I mean?
It's a fair question to ask.
It's a question. I'm like, and it just came to me now. Was that what's been the big difference? Someone said, "Hey, what's the difference between Cooper Kupp now versus Cooper Kupp last year?" And the only thing that I can point to, new quarterback.
Well, and it's, I know you and I were making
same
the joke
offense,
before.
new quarterback.
It's the same offense, and he's not just catching a lot of passes, which he is. He's wide open. It's not that the ball's just being whistled into a window that's barely there. Half of his catches in these games are coming where he's 5-6 yards clear of the nearest defender.
I think it's a great job of just getting him open. They find some of the ways to, the touchdown today on the goal line I mean, so let me just go through the play. Now, the Rams are in shotgun. Okay, now all of a sudden, Matthew Stafford goes under center. Running back behind him, they motion Cooper Kupp as if he's going to motion from one side of the formation to another. But what they do is, all he does is they hike the football, play action, and then Cooper hit Cooper Kupp literally on the fly motion for a touchdown. It was beautiful. It was an outstanding play, one I had not seen the Rams run before. But it goes to show you that when the ball is snapped and it's thrown to an area where Cooper is going to be at, and I can tell that's that part of that trust, that confidence that Matthew Stafford puts it in the area, and he knows that Kupp will be there.
Feels like it's going to get better and better the deeper into the season you go as well. Cooper Kupp was not the only guy with a big day today. Robert Woods had 6 catches, 70 yards. Tyler Higbee, 5 catches, 46 yards. And Van Jefferson with a very nice touchdown catch the first time that the Rams actually got their hands on the ball. Or second time, I guess. They kicked the field goal the first time, but the second time, just a beautiful throw, a beautiful catch from Van Jefferson. 4 catches, 43 yards, and the touchdown for him. But, as the 4th wide receiver that we think of, he seems to catch 1 or 2 balls a game, and it seems like those catches and degree of difficulty and just impact on the game are getting bigger and bigger each week.
Yeah, because he's getting more opportunities. And now with the way that Cooper Kupp is playing, when Robert Woods is still there, okay, who is going to be the guy that can start to get more opportunities? It's going to be Van Jefferson. Maybe even Deshaun Jackson. Who knows? And we can't even forget about Tyler Higbee. So it's like they have multiple guys that can get the football too. And that's why I think you're going to see an emerging Van Jefferson, because that play today, that touchdown catch, that was beautiful, man.
He got up.
He went and got that ball. Yeah. So I'll give him a ton of credit that he's already a second-year guy, and he's making some big-time plays.
Is this what we thought we were going to have with Deshaun Jackson? No catches today, only 1 target that we saw a couple of weeks ago. We had a couple of very big plays. I know that they've tried to push it down the field with him previously, but today really a non-factor in the offense. Is that just opportunities wasn't there?
Yeah, I'll still throw a little baseball reference in here, right? I think it's just like a righty-lefty matchup. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's you'll have a big Deshaun Jackson week. Sometimes you won't have a big Deshaun Jackson week. You may have a big-time Robert Woods week like you saw against the Seattle Seahawks, where he really shined and Cooper Kupp was more of the secondary receiver. This game is about matchups. This game is always about the opponent that you're going up against. And each week, it's going to be different. It's never going to look the same, I think, for this Rams offense, because they attack what they think is a defense's weakness, and that's why some guys tend to have better games than others.
Yeah, not much action for Deshaun Jackson today, but lots of action for just about everybody else. Let's come back and take a look around the rest of the NFL. Kind of an odd weekend, Kirk. A whole bunch of blowouts in the NFL here in Week 7 during the season. That's all coming up next on the Coors Light Postgame Show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction,
And you can win $1 million.
and you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN. Don't miss the Coors Light postgame show live.
Join us Sunday night at HBC for a Rams postgame party.
Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game.
We'll see you Sunday night at the Rays Lounge inside Hollywood Park Casino.
Hey, it's Travis and Sliwa. Monday morning, we're all over the Rams game right here on 710 ESPN.
Yeah, we will be, but that's not important. What is important, the best segment in LA radio, it's Ask Slee. You got one for us, Rampage?
What do you got there?
Whose house? Whose house? Rams' house.
Travis and Sliwa, weekdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the home of Rams football and LA Sports Talk all day long. 710 ESPN.
Join Team Rams United Way and thousands of Angelinos on Saturday, November 6th at SoFi Stadium for Walk United LA, a 5K family walk and run to end poverty in LA County. Go to therams.com/walkunited to register today.
LA's mega sports station has even more live and local
LA Sports Talk.
Start your day with LA's #1 sports morning show, Keyshawn in the Morning. Now with Max Kellerman.
Hit it! Yes, I opened the door for Max to join this show on 710 ESPN.
Keyshawn, J-Will, and Max goes until 10 a.m.
You're satisfied. Travis and Sliwa are talking Lakers, Dodgers, and Rams from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Travis and Sliwa gets an extra hour.
Now with more live and local LA sports talk every single day.
Then it's Mason and Ireland 1 to 4 p.m. And Sedano and Cap have your afternoon drive until 7.
It's George Sedano. It's Scott Kaplan. Hit it!
The new fall lineup with even more LA sports talk.
Even more LA sports talk.
710 ESPN. ESPN is giving you a chance to win. Make it 3 straight wins.
Stafford goes under center. Brings Cooper Kupp in motion from his left side. Straight back drop. Throw right. Caught by Kupp at the pylon. He goes airborne. He got in! Touchdown Cooper Kupp. Touchdown LA!
We recap Rams-Lions from SoFi Stadium. Week 7 NFL Sunday. This is the Coors Light postgame show, live at Hollywood Park Casino.
Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams.
The Rams play here.
Leave it all on the field. 1, 2, 3. Leave it all here.
We get you closer to all that went down right now on the Coors Light postgame show.
Coors Light.
Keeping Southern California chill all season long.
The Coors Light postgame show.
Here's Travis Rodgers and Kirk Morrison.
All right, Kirk, let's take a quick look around the rest of the NFL. The Rams, of course, beat the Lions today 28-19. They improved to 6-1. The Packers also moved to 6-1, 24-10 against the football team. And the Packers, just after that opening weekend loss against the Saints, where they looked absolutely terrible, they haven't lost since.
Yeah, and look, that's what the NFL can show you, right? Is that you have this overreaction Monday, this panic, what's going on? And Aaron Rodgers told us relax. And they relaxed, and now they've won 5 in a row. 6 in a row.
6 in a row, yeah.
Sorry, mix up. 6 in a row. And they don't look like they can be stopped. And the Rams will go to Green Bay, so I can't wait for that matchup. That's going to be a fun one to see the Rams go up there and Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford. That's going to be a good matchup.
All right, does it officially start happening tomorrow morning when we all kind of reconvene and start talking about the week that was in the NFL? Titans 27, the Kansas City Chiefs 3. Let me say that part again. Kansas City Chiefs 3 points. They're 3-4 through 7 games of the season. Patrick Mahomes left that game with an injury.
The Kansas City Chiefs didn't score a touchdown. I think that's the bigger question. So tomorrow, what's the headline in the NFL? There was no Cowboys game, so we don't have to worry about Cowboy headlines. That's number 1.
Right.
All right. But number 2, Patrick Mahomes. We're talking about a former MVP in the National Football League. And think about it. The last 3 MVPs in the NFL, Rodgers won today, but the previous 2 lost.
Mahomes
Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. So what's the headline? Who do you think is more of a headline? Is it more that Cincinnati winning to Baltimore and won a football game? Or is it more of Tennessee taking down the Kansas City Chiefs?
I think it's Kansas City because as good as Baltimore has been, they weren't expected to go back to, the Chiefs were almost, right them into the AFC Championship game. Maybe Buffalo beats them, maybe they don't. But It felt like the Chiefs were going to go right back to the Super Bowl the way they had the 2 previous years. And this is the NFL. This is why, maybe the Patriots kind of skewed this for everybody, where you think you get this team that just wins and wins
Dominant,
and wins and wins. That's not how it goes. If you get 3 or 4 good years, then usually you have to start over again. And how about the Bengals? There's another one of the blowouts today. This might have been, on paper at least, the closest matchup between 2 teams. The Bengals improved to 5-2. 41-17 against a Ravens team that had looked as good as almost anybody.
I was on that Ravens bandwagon. I was like, man, they look pretty unstoppable. But then you throw in what Cincinnati was able to do today with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. This is a fun bunch of guys, man. Watching them, and a ton of credit to one of I guess a protege of Sean McVay and Zach Taylor, former offensive coordinator with the Rams. It was hard the first 2 years. I mean, it was tough, but he's trying to rebuild what? He's trying to rebuild a culture, and everyone wants to bring in what McVay's doing here in Los Angeles. And it took him 2 years, but this third year, you're starting to see it. You're starting to see guys in the right direction. Number one, they got their quarterback right.
They got the quarterback piece right.
You get that right, you can start to fill in the other pieces. And I was really skeptical. I thought they would go offensive line, Penei Sewell, with their draft pick. But they went out and got Jamar Chase. And Jamar Chase is the guy.
Yeah, Jamar Chase has been fantastic for them so far. Joe Burrow, 416 yards and 3 touchdowns today. Absolutely fantastic. The Cardinals remain unbeaten as well, Kirk. They move to 7-0, a 31-5 win against the Texans. Of course, the Rams will have the Texans in Houston next week. The Raiders with another win, too, 33-22. Yeah. The Raiders are 5-2, and they've kind of been all over the map this season. Sometimes they look like they're a pretty good team. Sometimes they look like they don't know which way they're going. But the Raiders, they pick up their 5th win of the season as well. And Tampa Bay, we saw the Rams just put it on them. They look like one of the elite teams of the early part of this season as well, 38-3 against the Chicago Bears. We have a lot more to get to. We're going to hear from some players. We're going to hear from the head coach, Sean McVay. You can hear all of that coming up on the Coors Light postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams radio network, where the Rams beat the Lions today at SoFi Stadium 28-19. More to come on the ESPN LA Rams radio network.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN. Don't miss the Coors Light postgame show live.
Join us Sunday night at HBC for a Rams postgame party.
Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game.
We'll see you Sunday night at the Rays Lounge inside Hollywood Park Casino.
Yeah. Hey, it's Travis and Sliwa. Monday morning, we're all over the Rams game right here on 710 ESPN. Yeah, we will be, but that's not important. What is important, the best segment in LA radio, it's Ask Slee. You got one for us, Rampage? What do you got there? Whose house? Whose house? Rams' house.
Travis and Sliwa, weekdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the home of Rams football and LA Sports Talk all day long. 710 ESPN.
Join Team Rams United Way and thousands of Angelinos on Saturday, November 6th at SoFi Stadium for Walk United LA, a 5K family walk and run to end poverty in LA County. Go to therams.com/walkunited to register today.
LA's mega sports station has even more live and local. Hit it!
LA Sports Talk.
Start your day with LA's #1 sports morning show, Keyshawn in the Morning. Now with Max Kellerman.
Hit it! Yes, I opened the door for Max to join this show on 710 ESPN.
Keyshawn, J-Will, and Max goes until 10 a.m.
Travis and Sliwa are talking Lakers, Dodgers, and Rams from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Travis and Sliwa gets an extra hour now with more live and local LA sports talk every single day.
Then it's Mason and Ireland 1 to 4 p.m. And Sedano and Cap have your afternoon drive until 7.
It's George Sedano. It's Scott Kaplan. Hit it!
The new fall lineup with even more LA sports talk.
Even more LA sports talk.
710 ESPN.
Preserves a 25-19 lead.
The Rams move to 6-1 and keep Goff and the Lions winless.
This is the Coors Light postgame show
On the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Coors Light, keeping Southern California chill
All season long.
all the highlights, all the numbers. Coach McVay's press conference.
Hi, this is Coach Sean McVay.
The Coors Light postgame show kicks off.
Whose house? Rams house.
This is the Coors Light postgame show, live at Hollywood Park Casino. Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game.
Now,
Here's Travis Rodgers and Kirk Morrison.
Rams are 6-1, 28-19 is the final score from SoFi Stadium. Up next, the Houston Texans. And look, the Rams had a soft spot in their schedule. When this schedule came out and you looked at it and you saw the Giants and you saw the Lions and you saw the Houston Texans back to back to back, you knew that there were going to be some opportunities. And so far through the first two games of that 3-game run, Rams have put a couple of wins in the win column, and you just keep it moving. You keep stacking those up because I know as the wins, once you get in November and December, they get a little harder to come by. Fact of the matter is, a win in October, a win in September counts just the same.
Again, you're not going to be feeling sorry for nobody, come later in the season when you've got a couple wins under your belt, like you mentioned, and you start to say, you know what, we took care of business when we were supposed to. We didn't lose some of those games that a lot of people, find themselves like, wait, how'd you lose to this team or that team? You take care of business. You do what you're supposed to do. The Rams are doing that. And then they got to finish up one more game in which they're supposed to win. They'll be a heavy favorite over the Houston Texans, and then you're going to get into a little gauntlet of a schedule. That
it gets much more difficult after that. You've got the Tennessee Titans Sunday Night Football here at SoFi Stadium. Then you have a Monday night game on the heels of that, which I believe that's against the San Francisco 49ers up in San Francisco.
Correct.
San Jose, technically, but they're up in the Bay Area. How about we'll do that?
Yes.
Then you get your bye week, and then you come out of the bye week and you got the Green Bay Packers. So you've got a lot coming up after you get through Houston next week.
Yeah, it's a lot coming up. And it's going to be, it's a fun matchup, though. Fun matchup over the next couple weeks because look, see, here I am as an analyst. I'm already overlooking the Houston Texans.
Hard not to.
It's hard not to. When coming up, you have a division rival in the 49ers, and we know how tough and how difficult that is.
Mm-hmm.
But then what Derrick Henry's doing, he's going to get a chance to come to SoFi, and he's going to bring his run game. And can the Rams, and again, we've talked about matchups, can the matchup of what Derrick Henry presents in that Titans offense, can the Rams match up with that defensively? So that's going to be huge. And then obviously they have the Green Bay Packers after the bye week. So, we know how that looks.
No, the second part of the schedule is very, very daunting to be sure. But look, I know we're allowed to do this. You weren't allowed to do this as a player. But now that you're sitting here with me, you can do it. We can look forward. We can look past some games. Barring something extraordinary happening, they're going to beat the Houston Texans. They're going to be 7-1 at the halfway mark. Again, there's always, it's the NFL. Anything can happen. They lost to the Jets last season. We know that. So, always in the back of your mind, it's a possibility. But at the beginning of the season, Kirk, if I would have said to you 7-1 for the Rams at the quasi-halfway point, I don't think anybody wouldn't have taken that.
No, not at all. I mean, you're ahead of where you should be at. This is what you want. And they're going to continue to keep winning. I believe, what was the over-under for the Rams win total this year?
10.5, I think.
Like 10.5.
Yeah.
They've already almost got there already. You know what I mean? To a point where I don't know what Vegas saw. I think a lot of it was just because no one believed in Matthew Stafford. I think me and you believed in him, saying, hey, look, he can't be worse than what the guy who was here. And I'm saying that Jared Goff was worse, but I'm just saying that.
But he is. He look, it's not meant to be disrespectful. It's not meant to be mean.
But it is an upgrade.
The standard in play at that position is night and day. And you saw it today. The Lions had a chance to win that game. Right. They had the ball deep in the Rams' territory in the fourth quarter with a chance to take the lead. And he threw an interception. And when they got the ball back again, a little more desperate at this point, another interception. There are you cannot have that mistake happen week after week after week. And it was with the Rams, and it happened today with the Lions with the same guy quarterback.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, too. Really unfortunate. That's what the upgrade at the quarterback position with Matthew Stafford has now, I think it should have adjusted the odds, because I think that the Rams are a much better team than people may have thought. I think that the Rams are a 13-win team. You know what I mean? At least 12 or 13. So I believe that they'll leapfrog that 10 that a lot of people thought they would be at.
Cooper Kupp, 10 catches, 156 yards today, and a couple of touchdowns, which brings his season total through the first 7 games of the season to 9 touchdowns here during the 2021 season. Here's Cooper Kupp speaking with the media after the game.
Cooper, can you break down that first touchdown you had out there with Van?
Yeah, well, really, we got the look we wanted. Van did a great job. You know, it's really all on Van to be able to occupy the inside defender. Matthew being able to navigate the edge. Our right tackle, right guard being able to snatch guys, keep their hands down. I just have to catch the ball. So it was just great execution across the board from those guys, and it was pretty cool. I should have kept the ball and given it to Matthew. Luckily, our equipment guy tracked it down for him. It was a good play.
We know that there's a lot of collaboration in some of the design of these things between you guys and Matthew and you guys.
He's going pretty well.
Stafford is so even-keeled. You know him better than anyone in here. What's it mean for you and this team to get him this win in this game?
Oh, I mean, it is. I mean, it's an emotional thing. He knows a lot of the guys over there. We obviously know a lot of the guys on that team as well. So, it was an emotional game, but so glad we were able to get a W. So glad we were able to come out here and get a win for him there. And I think that's a pretty cool thing for him to get his 300th. Against the Lions is pretty cool.
Was it weird for you to see Jared and Brock over there?
Yeah, I think pre-game it's great seeing them. Be able to talk to them a little bit. But then once it's time to play, you're playing the game, you're locked into that. So it was great seeing them beforehand. But once the game starts, you just gotta go out there and play.
Matthew said he was kind of happy this is now behind him, this whole Lions, Stafford, and everything. I'm wondering, as teammates of Matthew, former teammates of Jared, if there's a sense around the team that you guys are just happy to be beyond this one now.
Yeah, well, I guess in a way it is, because we don't have to get asked about it all the time. But I think that it is something you want that, for Matthew. You want that for the guys, that when they're playing against something that, Matthew was a huge part of that organization for so long, did so many great things for him, and you want that for him. And so being able to move past that, be able to walk out of here with a W, it's good.
Still had work to do with 5 minutes to go, but how big an exhale was it after the defense produced that interception?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you want Jalen's? Yes, that was huge. I mean, that's just huge. I mean, such a great play by him. I think Taylor Rapp was right there too. He had a good hit, and our defense has done a great job over and over and over again. Teams being able to move the ball a little bit on, but being able to tighten up in the red zone and make plays down there, whether it's fourth down stops or getting turnovers like that. And then for us as an offense, coming in 4:53 left on the clock, and grind that clock down and end up with a field goal. Matt did a great job hitting that last one. I think that was a great ending to this game, being able to kind of be complementary off of each other that way.
You were big favorites, and you were down trailing most of the game. Was there a bit of disbelief, or did you always feel you were eventually going to come in?
No, I mean, and I don't think I don't think we were trailing most of the game, but our belief is always, whatever the score is, it's just the next play. Go out there and execute the next play to the best of your ability, and that's all you can do. Don't feel any pressure to go out and do anything more than you need to. Just us 11 guys on the field, be the best versions of themselves. Be free to just pursue success. No fear of failure, and take that thing one play at a time, and we'll be able to execute and put points up on the board.
In your words, you have described the third down play the last 2 weeks as quote-unquote atrocious. You guys were markedly better this time. What went into the sort of the design and execution front to back here this week and the week leading up? Yeah,
well, coaches did a good job putting a good plan together for us. We had, I think we kind of throughout the week we had a lot of stuff kind of to really work through, and did a great job kind of trimming it and giving us a more streamlined approach of what we wanted to do. And I think guys just executed, being able to make plays, progress through things, and then Sean just got us into some great plays as well, being able to get some stuff, hurry up and get up onto the ball, make some plays that way, and then just our third down plan in general when we are huddling and doing that stuff. I thought we did a better job executing, and that's what we've been saying all along. It's just execution. The stuff is there. Coaches have done a great job drawing it up for us. We just have to execute it better, and today we did a better job of that.
Today, Cooper Kupp with 2 more touchdown passes, 10 catches, 156 yards along the way. He continues to establish himself as one of the better wide receivers in the entire NFL. We're going to hear from the head coach, Sean McVay. We're going to hear from the quarterback who threw his 300th touchdown pass of his career. That's all coming up on the Coors Light Postgame Show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Straight back drop, throw right, caught by Kupp at the pylon. He goes airborne. He got in. Touchdown, Cooper Kupp. Touchdown, LA.
We recap Rams-Lions from SoFi Stadium, Week 7 NFL Sunday. This is the Coors Light postgame show, live at Hollywood Park Casino.
Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams.
The Rams play here.
Leave it all on the field. 1, 2, 3. Leave it all here.
We get you closer to all that went down right now on the Coors Light postgame show.
Coors Light.
Keeping Southern Gill all season long.
The Coors Light postgame show.
Here's Travis Rodgers and Kirk Morrison.
Rams are 6-0 after a 28-19 win against the Detroit Lions. Detroit is now 0-7. They're still looking for their first win, and thankfully it did not happen today. Although it will say this, Kirk, they got off to a really good start, and it was a very fun game to watch.
It was.
The Lions scored the first touchdown of the game, kind of a busted play for the Rams where they missed a tackle in the open field, 63 yards for a touchdown. Then the Rams go back to receive the kickoff. Only it's an onside kick for the Detroit Lions that they execute successfully. They get the ball back. They get stopped on third down, brings up a 4th and long. Only it's not a 4th and long. They go for it on a fake punt, which they're able to convert. And then fast forward to later in the second half of the game, they convert on another fake punt along the way. 3 different special teams plays for the Lions that went their way. I don't know if I've ever seen 2 in a game, much less 3.
Yeah, but when you're a desperate team, you're going to take desperate measures. And today, that's what the Detroit Lions were coming in. They were trying to win a football game. They were trying to get every opportunity they could to get an extra possession, to get an extra opportunity, to find ways to get the ball to their offense as many times as possible. What's the best way to win a football game against a high-powered offense like the Rams?
Don't let them have the ball.
Don't give them the ball. Let their offense stay on the field. And we're watching that in the first quarter of the game saying the Rams' offense were sitting on the sideline the entire time.
They had the ball once in the third quarter.
That was it.
Excuse me, the first quarter.
So the Detroit Lions offense were able to just stay on the field, maintain drives, and keep things going and run the clock. And it can frustrate an offense. It can frustrate the Rams. But that's where there was no panic with Matthew Stafford in the offense. It's what you do when you have your opportunity, when you get your drive. And the Rams had 3 drives in that first half, and they scored points on all 3 of those drives to where they go in at halftime, they're up 17 because they scored a touchdown and 2 field goals, right?
Yeah,
2 touchdowns and a field goal. So as good and as great as what the Detroit Lions were doing in order of stealing possessions, the Rams still stayed within who they were and were still up at halftime.
It was a really strange first half where everything that needed to go Detroit's way did.
Right.
And they still were behind at the half. It felt like the Rams never even had the ball, and yet they had the lead at the half going into it. And then once the Rams were able to get their hands on the ball a couple of times in the fourth quarter, they did not score in the third quarter, again, mostly because they didn't have a ton of opportunities.
Right.
Once they had the opportunities again, Matt Stafford did what he does.
Yeah, he continues to show why he's one of the better quarterbacks in this league. I really want to know what happens at the end of this year. Where do we put Matthew Stafford at? Like, where do we
Depends
rank
what happens
him at?
in the playoffs, right?
It does. And that's where we talked about them moving the goalposts, right? Because I think that right now, if you rank the quarterbacks, look, I'm looking at shade and slander today so far as I get caught up on news and notes. People are talking about $500 million get you what Patrick Mahomes is doing right now. Like that's what you're doing. Is that now they talk about it's looking real wincy, like Carson Wentz, and I'm saying, whoa, that's how much
Patrick Mahomes got compared to Carson Wentz. I did not have that on my bingo sheet to start the day.
But you know how fast this NFL can turn on you. NFL Twitter is a monster, just like NBA Twitter, right? It can turn and quickly, and now everybody's going to criticize you more. Mahomes is turning the ball over a ton. So when you start to re-rank and rework or however you want to, whatever list you want to do, I mean, remember all the people said, I'd take Patrick Mahomes over Brady. I'm like, I'm still taking that dude number 12.
There's no ups and downs with Tom Brady. He's been doing it for 20 years.
I'm still taking that guy.
Pretty good about the chances that he's going to continue to do it.
Today, he made the Chicago Bears offense look like a JV team.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Just think about it like
Chicago
this.
Bears defense, like it just looked that bad. And Tom Brady, I mean, he's playing pitch and catch.
Yeah, well,
I mean, he's throwing like Greg Maddox perfect placement softballs, and all of a sudden Mike Evans turns around, adjusts to the ball, and it lands in his hands. I'm like, how? Like, that's not possible. So I bring all that up because you think about, hey, the usual suspects: Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. You look at
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray is actually doing that. So And then you throw in the Lamar Jackson, you throw in Josh Allen, but we never talk about Matthew Stafford. And so do we have to wait till the season's over? Do we wait till after the playoffs are over? Because he's playing at such a high clip, and I feel like he's not getting the recognition for a guy who came over from a team.
I think the standard for him is artificially high because the Rams are such a good team, and the expectations are, all right, go do what you need to go do, and he did exactly that today. 28 out of 41, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and the quarterback of the Rams, Matthew Stafford, spoke with the media after the game.
All the fakes and all the surprise onside and all that, just some possessions stolen there. Great plays by them, but just kind of had a weird feel to it. Didn't touch the ball too much in the first half, but when we got our opportunities, we scored with it, which was good. It was a team win. Special teams came back and made a big play at the end of the game with Matt making that field goal to really ice it. Jalen making a great play late in the game to get us the pick. I thought we did some decent stuff on offense, scoring with the football. So a team win. Detroit's a tough out. Always have been. Probably always will be. Just happy to get one.
Before kickoff, was it emotional for you at all when you were kind of chatting with some of your friends and former teammates?
No, it's just good to see them. I just haven't seen those guys in a while. Talked to them, on text and all that kind of stuff. But just good to see their face, see those guys. Spend a lot of time with a lot of those people over there and really have some great relationships. So it was good to see those people again.
A lot of before the game, you hoped the Ford family would be here. Were they here? Did you catch up with them?
Yeah, I saw Sheila. She was here. Her husband was here, so it was good to see. Martha wasn't, but got to see her, Rod Wood, all those people. So it was good to see him.
Matthew, what did you feel, or how did you feel about? There are a lot of Detroit fans here, and a lot of them were wearing your 9 jersey. What did that make you feel?
It was humbling. It was really nice to see. Driving into the stadium today, saw a few walking around and thought to myself that was pretty cool. I really appreciate it. I've said it a bunch of times, and I truly mean it. I love my time there. I love, all the people there that treated me, my family, my wife, with a ton of respect and a ton of grace, for a long time. So, it was cool to see that. Once the ball was snapped, it was football time. I was ready to go play. But it was cool to see some of the stuff going on around.
Your former team, you hear players at least ahead of time say that they're inspired to perform maybe extra special performance. You just said once the ball was snapped, it was a football game. But was there a sense that you're performing in front of friends, against friends, that you just wanted to have a really good game?
No, I want to have a really good game every time I step out there. So there was nothing extra, to be honest with you. I just want to do whatever we had to do to help us win, and that's how I kind of approach it every single week. Each game is going to unfold a little bit different. Today was as strange of an opening, part of a game as I've been a part of. But I thought we were even keel. I think that started from our head coach all the way down. Everybody did a great job of just kind of weathering the storm and knowing that if we went out there and executed what we were supposed to do, we were going to be in a good place. And finally got the opportunities to do that and went and did it.
Excuse me. Was there any reason why there was a slow start in the first half? The offense going?
We scored 17 points on 3 possessions. We had 2 touchdowns and a field goal, so that's not perfect. I'd love to have 21, but I'll take 17 on 3 possessions. So.
Even you get over that Lions defense, you were able to connect with your receivers, especially with Cobb and Jefferson. How good did it feel to have that success?
I'm just happy for our guys on the outside. They work so hard. Our guys are running every day at practice, doing everything they can to be as good of receivers as they possibly can be. And it shows on Sundays. I thought all of our guys on the outside did a great job. Higgs had a big catch on a 3rd and 10. Robert Woods had some big catches on 3rd down, had some great feel in there. Cooper did some great stuff. Van went up and, played huge and made a great catch on a 3rd down to score. Those are huge plays in the game. And, I just can't say enough about those guys. They worked their tail off, and I'm just happy that, that work is paying off for them, on Sundays, and they're getting to go out there and shine.
What have you done to develop it?
It's good. I think we spend a lot of time together, spend a lot of time talking about the game of football. I really do that with all of our receivers. I'm lucky in that regard that our guys love the game, love the X's and O's, love the little tiny, parts of what make the passing game, really good or just okay. And so, I'm just happy and blessed to work with those guys. Feel lucky to do it, and just trying to make the most of it. What you got, Mitch?
Hey, has this been on your calendar for a while, and is there part of you that's kind of relieved that it's over with now?
I don't know. I had so many changing things in my life, going on that, I knew this one was out there, but I wasn't sitting there thinking about it. I had plenty of other stuff to think about, to be honest with you. It's been a little bit of a whirlwind. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm, as prepared as I can every single day to come in and help us win. And, am I happy it's over with? Yeah. Got a lot of great friends, got a lot of, people that I care about that are on that team or from that city. And, just glad to have this one over with. Can put the storylines away and just go out and play football the rest of the year, and just enjoy it.
You guys came into this game really very blunt about how you had been on third down the previous 2 weeks and then improved markedly today. What was that week like within, first of all, the design, some of the different things you guys ran on third down, and then the execution in game?
I thought, Sean gave us an opportunity to be great on third down today. He does every week. It comes down to execution. It comes down to me doing my job, our guys up front doing their job, and receivers getting open and catching the football. We hadn't done that at a rate that I think we're capable of, and Coach thinks we're capable of, and I agree with him. The last couple of weeks, it was nice to get out there and do it again today. Were we perfect? No. On fourth down, just somebody tell me to run the dang thing. It's so open. I just don't know what the hell to do in space. So I got to run that thing, get the first force, keep us on the field. So there's definitely plays I want back. That being a big one. So still a lot to improve on, but proud of our guys for making a concerted effort on something, being able to stay on the field. Our defense was on the field a lot early because of those onsides and fake punts and stuff, and it was big for us to kind of convert some third downs early in the game just to give them a little bit of a break. Not be 2-3 play drives. So it was good.
What do you have your career home? 12 guys that have thrown for 300 passes. You tied Elway today. What does that mean for you?
It means a little bit. I grew up watching John and was a huge fan. I wore number 7 in high school and college because of John, and was a huge fan of the way he played the game, way he threw the ball, all of that. It's pretty cool. I'm sure I'll appreciate it probably more when I'm done playing, but along the way, it's nice to get that done with a win. Had we not won the game, I'd have been, feeling probably a little bit different about it. But being able to win the game and do something like that is pretty special.
The history with the Lions, been involved in a lot of fourth quarter comebacks, mostly with the Lions. What did it feel like to be is your 33rd fourth quarter comeback this time against the Lions? Just how important was that to you?
I didn't even think about that till you just said it, but I'm just trying to do whatever it takes to win the game. And if that's ball's handed to me with however much time's left to go out there and try to do something, I'm going to try and do it. It was a team effort at the end today. It may go on my record as a quarterback or whatever, but Jalen gets a pick, Matt Gay hits a field goal to really ice the thing. We had a touchdown in there too, but that's a team fourth quarter right there. That's all phases coming together. That play by Jalen's, it's unbelievable. That's a long drive. They're going down there. They're about to get 7 and make it, really tough on us, and he just comes out of nowhere and makes a play of the day. So, happy to be on a team with a guy like that, and just happy we came away with a win.
Yeah, they came away with their 6th win of the season. They are 6-1, and you heard Matthew Stafford right there talking about throwing the 300th career touchdown pass. John Elway, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, finished his career with just 300 touchdown passes along the way. And not only did Matthew Stafford do it, but he did it at a rate that's way, way faster than most players. We'll be back with some absolutely mind-blowing numbers on how quickly he just did that. Plus, we'll talk about some of the other games from around the league and get our 3 top performances coming up next. This is the Coors Light Postgame Show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN. Don't miss the Coors Light postgame show live.
Join us Sunday night at HBC for a Rams postgame party.
Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game.
We'll see you Sunday night at the Rays Lounge inside Hollywood Park Casino.
Yeah. Hey, it's Travis and Sliwa. Monday morning, we're all over the Rams game right here on 710 ESPN.
Yeah, we will be, but that's not important. What is important, the best segment in LA radio, it's Ask Slee. You got one for us, Rampage?
What do you got there?
Whose house? Whose house? Rams' house.
Travis and Sliwa, weekdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the home of Rams football and LA Sports Talk all day long. 710 ESPN.
Join Team Rams United Way and thousands of Angelinos on Saturday, November 6th at SoFi Stadium for Walk United LA, a 5K family walk and run to end poverty in LA County. Go to therams.com/walkunited to register today.
LA's mega sports station has even more live and local. Live and local. Hit it!
LA Sports Talk.
Start your day with LA's #1 sports morning show, Keyshawn in the Morning. Now with Max Kellerman.
Hit it! Yes, I opened the door for Max to join this show on 710 ESPN.
Keyshawn, J-Will, and Max goes until 10 a.m.
You're satisfied. Travis and Sliwa are talking Lakers, Dodgers, and Rams from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Travis and Sliwa gets an extra hour. Now with more live and local LA sports talk every single day.
Then it's
300th career touchdown pass they went to Cooper Kupp there in the first half of that game. He did it in 172 games, Kirk. Okay, 300 touchdown passes in 172 games. Here are the guys that have done it faster. 3 of them are already in the Hall of Fame. Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, and Brett Favre, okay? The other 3 guys that have done it are not in the Hall of Fame, and only because they're not eligible yet. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Drew Brees. So when you get on as Rodgers, Manning, Marino, Brady, Brees, Favre, you're in some pretty heady company, right?
Yeah, that's some heavy company. We're talking about guys who Hall of Famers. That's a Hall of Fame list of guys who I honestly believe that, we'll never get the credit a lot of those guys. But the one thing that all of those guys have, they all won a Super Bowl except for Dan Marino. So if Matthew Stafford wins the Super Bowl, now it does elevate him. It makes a lot of those numbers that we see, it validates him. Because that's the one thing that we always have when we get to an argument about Dan Marino. Well, he doesn't have a championship, so the numbers we don't talk about. And yet, had he won one, I think that his numbers would stand a little taller than they do right now.
It's such a weird deal, because you just never know. Dan Marino goes to the Super Bowl his second season in the league, and it felt like, we're going to see him over and over and over. Never got back. You just don't know how it goes. Dan Marino, one of the greats of all time, but you just don't know how this plays out. All right, it's time for the top 3 performances of the day, brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, and this guy's always near the top of the list, the top performer. Speaking of somebody that was on that list we just talked about, Aaron Rodgers, 274 yards and 3 touchdown passes in the Packers' 24-10 win against the Washington football team, and he's always going to find a way to get something done, isn't he?
Always. I mean, and you should never panic with Aaron Rodgers. If you have Aaron Rodgers in your squad, no panic. And he's a realist about the NFL. He understands that, look, we're not going to have it every play or every series or every game. It's just the nature of the business. Now, I want to see him have that same thing in the playoffs sometimes, because he does have those situations where you're like, what happened? We just came out flat. We can't do that in the playoffs. But he understands that there's the ebbs and flows of a season, and that it doesn't say who you really are. You just, hey, we just got to weather the storm. That's what they did. That first game, people were in on Aaron Rodgers. And I mean, I know I was one of them saying the distractions of the offseason forced this team to lose a football game on the road that they should have won. And so then I'm thinking like, all right, well, how can they come back from that? Well, they've won their next 6 games in a row. So they've come back from that. They've proved that the first game was an outlier, but it also proves that, to me, Aaron Rodgers is still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. and I continue to watch him, and I just like, how can you stop him at times?
Joe Burrow is our second top performer. The Bengals with a big win today. Kind of a statement win for them through the early part of the season. They improved to 5-2. They beat a very good Baltimore team that came into this game at 5-1. Joe Burrow, 416 yards and 3 touchdown passes. And look, everybody needs to do their job, and all the pieces need to be put in the right spot. But when you get the quarterback position figured out, when you have a player that understands how to play NFL football, especially at a young age like Joe Burrow, you're on to something.
It's a key piece. And Joe Burrow, we saw it in college. A guy who, won the Heisman Trophy for one of the greatest college seasons we had ever seen. And then you get to the NFL, and he was having an outstanding season last year. He got hurt. He actually would have been Rookie of the Year over Justin Herbert had he stayed healthy. I truly believe that. But he got injured, and so he didn't win the award. But just think about where he's at now, coming off of an ACL surgery, and to see how in command he is with the offense. They drafted Jamar Chase. This was a team that, look, they're still not where they want to be at just yet, but I mean, you got to see they're moving in the right direction.
All right, so let's have our third performer of the day be Kyler Murray, who threw a couple of touchdown passes against the Texans today. But I want to ask you a question. The Cardinals are 7-0. They beat the Rams a couple of weeks ago back at SoFi Stadium. Let's take a look at their schedule real quick, Kirk. Here's what's coming up with Arizona. You've got the Packers in Arizona. You go on the road to the 49ers. You're back home with the Panthers and on the road for a back-to-back in the Seattle and the Bears before they play the Rams again. Where's their first loss coming from? Is it next week against the Packers?
I think so. And that's a Thursday game, so that's what's really excited. They don't have to wait long. Some people were petitioning that, can we flex that game for Sunday night? I'm saying, no, let's just keep it where it's at. That's going to be a good Thursday. That's a good appetizer to the rest of the football weekend. So I think that's where they get their first loss at. I mean, because they're going to play at home, and I still feel that we get a chance to see two of the top quarterbacks. And Aaron Rodgers, for some reason, I think in front of the lights, he's going to put on a show. Always does. It's going to be fun, man. Both sides. I think we're going to see both quarterbacks really put on.
And here's the other odd. Look, let's say Arizona goes into Lambeau Field on a short week and comes out 8-0. We're looking at the Cardinals a lot differently. Like, look, 7-0 is 7-0, and they beat the Rams convincingly in SoFi Stadium. So taking nothing away from them. But if all of a sudden they go into Lambeau Field, short week, beat Aaron Rodgers, beat a Green Bay team that's only lost one game all season, I think we'd probably look at Arizona a little differently at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. We look at them as a legitimate contender because they're going to continue to keep winning games. And I love the way that they built this team on veterans that still have a little something left in the tank. They have leadership. And think about it, you can go without your head coach for a week and you still blow out a team. Due to the COVID issues. That's just leadership that they have on that football team.
Yeah, they've been fantastic through the early part of the season so far. Sean McVay, of course, has his team playing at a high level right now. 6-1, 28-19 win today against the Lions. He spoke with the media after the win.
Today, a lot of adversity that we had to overcome, but I thought the guys just weathered the storm. Credit to the Lions and Coach Campbell. They came in ready to go. I thought Jared did an excellent job being able to make his plays. I thought Swift was outstanding. They did a great job defensively, really creating a lot of pressure and making it difficult on us to kind of, finish all those drives with touchdowns, especially in the second half. But we came away with the win. I was really, really pleased with the guys in crunch time. I mean, for Aaron to get that rush when we had to have it, force kind of an Aaron throw, Jalen makes an unbelievable pick. Then we end up driving the length of the field, kick a field goal. Matt Gay delivers that, in essence, kind of put the game out of hand. Thought Matthew made play after play. I thought Robert and Cooper both stepped up in a big way. And there was a lot of really good individual contributions, but we'll take it. That's a really tough football team. You got to give those guys their credit, but a lot of things that we can clean up, but certainly no stop points in this league. And again, a lot of respect for Coach Campbell and those guys.
Are you going to share what you and Jared said there at the end?
No, I'm not going to get into it. No, as I said, great job. I'll touch base with you a little bit later on, but that was, so I guess I did just share with you what I said. Okay.
Sean, did you guys come into this game sort of expecting a back against the wall sort of kitchen sink situation? They threw so many things out on you guys, special teams. Did you feel prepared?
We did. You know what? And that's what's a little bit disappointing, Jordan, is that was not stuff that we were surprised by, but we didn't execute, and they did. They ended up creating a bunch of momentum. You ended up having 2 fake punts and a surprise onside kick. Both of those things were things that we did anticipate and expect, but we didn't execute, and they did. And that was, that wasn't good, and it's a lot of things that we can learn from.
How did this start look to you, Coach?
Say that again?
How did this start look to you as opposed to like the previous week?
Yeah, it was, I think overall it's hard because you only have really 3 possessions in the first half. You end up with 2 touchdowns and 1 field goal. Thought we did a good job. I hated my 3rd down call on the first drive of the game on the 3rd down and 4 in the high red. I didn't give us a chance on that play, and they had a good defensive call, and I gave us no chance with the play call. But then to be able to get 2 touchdown drives in addition to that opening drive field goal, I thought was good to be able to get the lead at halftime. But again, there just wasn't a whole lot of opportunities. I didn't like that we didn't capitalize on the momentum we had a chance to really grab hold of coming out of the half. But the game is about handling the ebbs and flows. Our guys did that. There was a lot of reasons to kind of put your head down and not feel good based on the way that it started, but that's the last thing that our guys did, and I thought our big-time players stepped up in crunch time, and that was instrumental in us getting the W today.
What did you see from Matthew Stafford in what might have been an emotional day for him?
I saw the same guy I've seen, steady, great performer. He was great in the clutch, and really, even when things weren't going well, he just stays nice and even-keeled, and that's what a great quarterback does. He's our leader. He did a great job today, and pretty special for him to go over 300 career touchdown passes. Speaks to the resume of work that he has, and to be able to do that in a win against former team and a lot of great relationships. I know he has tremendous respect for that organization, the way he was treated there, and I think they feel the same about him, and I was really happy for him to be able to get the win.
Yeah, I think everybody was happy for Matthew Stafford today to pick up that 300th touchdown pass and get to do it against the team that he spent the lion's share of his career with 12 years prior to coming to the Rams right here. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
KSPN AM 710 Los Angeles.